In this video, we're going to talk about what a rotating item is as far as an asset's concerned, and the values that that kind of brings to us. So, the best place to start is at the item master record, because this is where the root of a rotating item is formed, I guess. So here we have an item. It's a triplex pump. And the only thing that really matters on this tab here, the item tab of the item master, is this checkbox right here, which is rotating. You'll see that it's grayed out. So in Maximo, if this item master is rotating or lotted or what have you, once it's used and it's used to make a historical record, this becomes grayed out and it's no longer you're no longer able to change it. So that's why it's grayed out. But moving along, this is what we're focusing on, this rotating checkbox. Rotating means that this item master belongs to an asset. All right. If you try to use this anywhere in Maximo, it's only going to be successful if you use it in conjunction with an asset record. So you have the storerooms and the vendors and specifications. Those are all things that apply to all item masters. But the item assembly structure is one of the benefits I want to talk to you about. So an item assembly structure is basically like a bill of materials, and this is the makeup of the top level item. So we're saying that our triplex pump is the top level item, and for children it has or part of its the children and the inventory that make up a triplex pump. I just added some items here real quick. So I added a rotary pump, 2 rotary pumps, a guard, a pressure pump, and some O-rings, right? Now, you'll notice that I can add 3 O-rings on one line. That's because this is an inventory item, all right? You'd use an inventory line, inventory balance line, to represent this at Maximo, to move it around, and to consume it. And you can't open up a work order on it because it's inventory. Now, these rotary pumps, and I think this pressure pump as well, but I want to show these rotary pumps. There's 2 of them, right? There's 2 lines. Well, that's because these are also rotating items. So this is an asset. This is a piece of equipment, serialized item. And in the hierarchy, this would show up as spare parts, and these would be subassemblies, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this item master number, the triplex pump, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to assets, right? Now I'm going to create a new asset, and this doesn't auto number, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that in there and tab, right? So now the description comes right over, and the rotating item is set. All right, I'm going to give this a location somewhere in Bedford. Wow, type. Well, we'll go to holding location. That's fine. Receiving. Now, we're not going to give it any parents, no meter groups, no vendors. Just for this demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and save the record now. All right, so now we have our asset, right? This is a rotating item. This is a triplex pump. Now we go to spare parts tab, and nothing. There's nothing here. Now we could do a couple things here. If those subassemblies were already made inside Maximo, then we'd hit new row and add it, as I showed in the parent-child video. And in the spare part video, it would be the same thing. I'd select spare parts, or I could add new row and add them one at a time. One of the benefits to having an item assembly structure already built is that we can apply an item assembly structure. Oh, I got a little reload error, so we'll go back. Here we go. Where is it? Apply item assembly structure. Sorry. So, here it is. Now, we're going to tell the system to auto number, because I don't want to create any numbers. And it auto numbers right here. You could put the GL account and the suspense account right here. You could just copy and paste it, or you could look it up through here, and then you just hit OK. Now, Maximo thinks for a minute, and then it not only creates these asset records, but it automatically assigns them as well. Now, here we have the spare parts, right? There was one guard and there was three O-rings. So now this is saying the spare parts for these equipment are uh, O-rings and guards, and this is how much, or this is the inventory that makes up this item. So, I mean, that's at least 10, 15, 20 minutes worth of work you save right there by using that one simple action, which I think makes using the actual rotating item worth it. But here's the other kicker. So let's say I want to look for all my triplex pumps. So in the list tab, I would just look for that rotating item number, and all my triplex pumps would show up. So if you have a whole bunch of whatevers, a whole bunch of engines, transmissions, pumps, laptops, whatever you're tracking as an asset, you want to find all of your specific asset with that rotating item number, that model, I guess you would say. Then you could just plop that rotating item number in there, hit enter, and all of your items would show up. Now, another benefit is once you start making your queries and custom reports, you can start using this rotating item number to just look at these parent assets. So if I was running a heating and refrigeration plant, I would have a item master for the boiler, right? My big boilers would each have an item, or there would be one item master number for each of these X type boilers. Now, if I had multiple types of boilers, I would have an item master for each one. So let's say I had three types of boilers, or I don't know why you would, but if you had three, you could put all three of those rotating item numbers in this field, hit enter, and a whole list would show up. And then you could save that query and call it boilers, and now you have a list of all your boilers. So the rotating item feature of the assets and of Maximo, there's so many arguments for it, and there's hardly ever an argument against it. I've heard the argument of, well, we don't use it, we don't need it, it doesn't really do much for us. I can't think of an operation that would be hurt by using this, and I can only think of the benefits. So moving forward, when you're building your asset records, think about using rotating items. It could save you a whole lot of time.